Welcome to the Power of Attunement YouTube channel. My name is Sece Foster, and I want to just extend a big welcome to all of you who have showed up here for this video today. So, what I want to bring today is something that's been on my mind the last few days. I was reading the series of books by Yolanda. There's actually 2 books in this series. It's called The Divine Design of Man. And the way that Yolanda described this principle in the book, I wanted to share with you all because it's something that I've known, but I just really loved the metaphor that he used in this section of volume 2 that I thought was a really great metaphor in helping to bring understanding about the power of love and truth. So, the power of love is that one power behind attunement. It is the healing power. If you're an attunement practitioner, if you're sharing energy medicine with someone, it is about being a clear and open channel for this current of love that is universal and is also right where we are. We are individualizations of this one power. And what happens for us in the human experience, because we are individualizations and we're also a collective, we have our mind and emotional body, so let's say our consciousness, that is a filter for our experience, let's say. So the metaphor that Yolanda used in this piece, he talks about love being the light in a, you know, those old video cameras or where there's a really bright light and then the film goes between the light and what's projected on the wall. So if we think of love as being the light, it is shining, right? It's shining and it's just going out, but nothing manifests. Nothing is projected. We don't see anything come into form until that film is put in there. So, as individuals and as a collective, we have the capacity to make our own film, to make our own movie, to write our own story, right? And so much of our culture, how we were raised, whatever maybe traumatic circumstances we've gone through in the human experience, we do write our own story. We create our own movie, so to speak. But the thing is, the light behind the film is never changing. It's always just radiating. And so we think of the light as love, and the film as the truth. But my truth, what I think is true, what you think is true versus what is actually true, differ. And yet, each of us as creator beings have this capacity to allow what actually is the divine design to come into manifestation here on earth. We could call it creating heaven on earth. So I love this metaphor because it really puts it in a way that we can understand. At least it did for me. So one of the things that I've noticed in practice of attunement, so the energy medicine practice of attunement, I noticed accelerated my growth in this way. And the reality is, when we pray, when we are meditating, any of those spiritual practices, when we are consciously being of service to our world, when we are letting ourselves express love, when we are letting it flow through us and out into our world, what we are experiencing, what we are expressing is what we become, so to speak. And we can change our experience. That's what this is kind of about, right? Because just because the past was the past and that was the movie that we made when we were 25, 35, 45, whatever the case may be, we made this movie of this is life, and this is my life, and this is me, right? But the more we let true love enter into us, the more that we allow this pure essence of love to move in our experience, to move through us, to express through us, to let ourselves be it, give it, allow it to embody. What happens is the film gets redone. Those old films, those old movies, those old stories that we've told ourselves, that we've come to believe, actually end up falling away. They end up dissolving, because this is the power of love. That's what love does. Love in and of itself is filled with cosmic information. We've heard the term, oh, I'm sending love and light, right? Now, this is not just some, I don't know. Well, I guess it can be for some people. So it's not just a little term like, oh, I'm sending love and light, because sometimes people say that kind of offhanded, but I want to talk about, like, this is the real power, sending love and light. When we send love and light to people in our world, to circumstances in our world, something changes. I know this for a fact because I've seen it happen over and over. If you are into the healing arts at all, if you're a person of faith, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably had that experience, but what I know is when we really come into a place of attunement, when we every day are making a choice to tune in moment by moment as best as we can to the source of love that is within us, that is all around us, when we tune into that and we allow this love to move, we are rewriting not only our personal story, our personal movie, but we're rewriting the collective, because we're connected to all of it, everyone. Because the truth is that there is only one thing happening here, and this is the life of the divine. One life, one power, one love. And each of us is a unique individualization of that. Each of us have come here in this time and space to bring our unique gift, our authentic self. And so when we do this practice, when we truly allow our hearts to crack open, when we allow ourselves to orient to the divine and allow this wondrous power of love to move in our capacities, to move through us, to move through not only our emotional capacity, but move in our mental capacity, to purify our mind, illuminate our mind, inspire us, ignite our imagination. When we do this, we also receive this flow of energy that moves into our body. We are created to be this. We are created to allow this power to move. And when I think of examples of this, we have some avatars that have walked this planet, but I really think of Jesus in this moment. Like, he was an example of what can happen, what's possible when we truly step into the reality that was meant for us. Like, Jesus wasn't the great exception. There wasn't just one guy that had this relationship with the divine that was one with God. No. He was the example. He came here to show the way. And I know he's not the only one that's walked this earth. But what a great example. The story of this individual is still making a difference in the world. But what I know is that when we when love isn't present, like this true love, even let's say in the Christian faith, we can see where, I just gave an example of Jesus, he was a great example, but we see hatred, separation, all these things happening in certain parts of the world through religious organizations, because the film that they're playing is not necessarily truth. It's the human idea of truth. The reality is we just need to be an open channel for truth. We cannot hold the truth in our mind. The truth is too vast. It's vast. You can't touch it. You can't hold it. You can't own it. You can only let it move through you, right? You can let it move through you. It has to be a moment by moment basis. This truth will guide you to where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to do when we're here in this incarnation. Truth gives us intuitive nudges. Truth is wisdom. It gives us insight. So without love, there is no truth. And without truth, real, true love isn't happening for us as human beings. We need both truth and love. When those things are together, when the truth of love is known, experienced, expressed, when we express it in our living, then there is life, and there is life more abundantly. This is a beautiful principle of attunement, and I think if you're really listening to this, if you're touching into it, I'm going to invite you to just ask yourself, does this feel true for me? When I'm expressing love, when I'm being loving, when I'm being compassionate and empathetic and all those things in my life, how are things going? How does it feel? So I would just invite you to be with these ideas, and I invite you in this day to be as conscious as you can. This is a practice. So beyond our prayer work, beyond our meditation, beyond our yoga practice, beyond those spiritual practices, we have to bring this into our living in order for it to really, truly be the change that we want to see. We can't just go to church on Sundays. We can't just meditate 20 minutes a day and expect our whole lives to change. It's a moment by moment choice to orient to love, to orient to cosmic love, to recognize that there is a great mystery here that loves us, that is always guiding us when we allow it to happen. When we tune into that moment by moment, something magical happens. So I'm going to invite you to bring that more into your awareness today. Like, choose love. Notice how that energy feels in your body. Notice how it impacts the people around you when you truly orient to this higher love to the best of your ability today. Because the best today may be different, next week, 2 years from now, on and on, because we are ascending, right? We're evolving. Where we are right now is just a point in time. We are meant to fully be realized, to fully move into that same space that Jesus was talking about, that he showed us that we are one, that love is the key, and we're here for this, right? This is such a crucial time on this planet right now. I know that if you've landed on this channel, that you are a being of light. You are here to bring love into the world. You're here to bring a new earth, a change, a shift. So welcome to this channel. I'm going to invite you to subscribe and like if you've enjoyed this video, and to keep tuning in and check out our online learning community, Becoming a Son community. It's you can find the link in the description of this video, where we have like-minded people. We have wonderful courses. Many of them are free. I just taught one this morning called The Power of Attunement, by the way. And so we're here to bring attunement to the world. We're here to bring love to the world. Love is that force that changes, that rewrites the stories, that heals, and that makes whole. We are all one, right? And so thank you for being here today. Thank you for subscribing and joining us in this great awakening of humanity. So again, thanks so much for coming today. Be blessed, be well, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.